Good morning, students. Now, today we are going to start the new chapter. Understand the chapter introducing the Western sociologist. Our chapter starts or begins this new chapter, Western sociologist, from introducing the Western sociologist. Students, now you know very well, and I have taught many times to you that sociology is the very new subject. Understand? Although our society had been existing since uh, the very ancient time, our social order and our society is existing, or many thinkers, scholars, they have made their study in the in respect of the society or regarding the society. They have studied a lot, understand, but a lot or but the it's a scientific study, or it's a study as a disciplined or as a independent subject. This now began only in the 19th century, or it was the birth of this subject. It's the very recent, understand, and only the sociology and sociological study emerged in the 19th century, or only after the certain changes, the three changes that which occurred in this world, the changes about the revolution or the awakening, the scientific awakening in the Europe, the French Revolution, or the or industrial revolution. Understand these three revolution, or it's a sociology, and now it is the so young subject, you can say, and the so very recent subject, that it is called that the child of the age of revolution. So the sociology is termed by the some of the scholars and called as a child of called the child of the age of revolution. Now, students, we know very well that the age of revolution now emerged or began from the Renaissance. The Renaissance, that which we know in different terms, or the different terms. Here I have written that the Enlightenment, the age of Enlightenment, or the age of the scientific revolution. Understand? That is the similar way. Now we know that right from the 14th century to the 17th century, the whole of the Europe, the entire Europe, understand, passed and gone through a new social, a new thoughts, a new environment had been created, environment of the thoughts and scientific environment. This was the revival of the old cultures, Greek and Roman cultures, and now this Renaissance or the Enlightenment, age of the Enlightenment changed the people's angles of thinking. They changed. They begin to look at the anything with a different angles and the different eyes. They started, and with the and those what kind of the eyes? They started the eyes of the questioning. Later on, I will just discuss about that. The Western European Revolution changed the now the three revolutions now went and gone. Consequently, understand, the European Revolution changes the preceding 3 centuries that decisively changed the way of the life. The three revolution which we are going to study here, the Enlightenment, age of the Enlightenments or the scientific revolution, second the French Revolution, and third the Industrial Revolution. These three revolution now, no doubt, changed the entire, not only the entire Europe, changed the whole world. it's had the directly or the indirectly, it's had the very deep impact on the life of the human being. And the present time, now this is the ultimate and the final fruits, the ultra modernity. We are the advancing toward the ultra modernity. This was the because of these three revolution. Understand, which occurred and which occurred in the atmosphere of the Europe. Understand, and no doubt, enlightenment or the scientific revolution, the French Revolution, and the Industrial Revolution, which occurred and they happened in the England. French Revolution, we are well aware of this revolution, my dear students, and already, and these processes completely transformed the processes which began in the after the Renaissance or after the Enlightenments. Understand, this now transform in entirely the mindsets or the and the outlooks and the views of the people of the youth. Understand, and these and completely the French Revolution also changed the political and the social structure of the world. And similarly, the industrial revolutions now brought about the enormous and the extreme changes in the production system or the market system of the world. Understand, students, my dear students. Now let's see that emergence of the sociology. These three, the revolutions. Now these processes completely transformed the Europe as a world, as well as the whole world. Entire world was completely changed. Understand? And in the now we are going to study in this chapter. Now the three thinkers we shall have the focused. Understand? Our focus will be on the three great thinkers. Understand? Although these three thinkers are supposed to be the, understand, they were the vehicles for the advancement of the modern society. Understand? And the growth of the modern society, whatever the Karl Marx. Understand? The one of the thinkers, the great thinkers, born in Germany, and he was the just the father of the communism, modern communism. He was the father of that. And moreover, the next day, the Emil Durkheim, understand, and the next day, the Max Weber. The three thinkers we shall now focus our study. They will be the subject of our study, and as a part of the now classical traditional of the sociology, they are supposed to and laid the foundation of this subject. The Karl Marx, okay, or the Emil Durkheim, or the Max Weber, they laid the foundations of this new subject. As an independent discipline, they thought and focused in a different way to this subject and the growth of this subject. They now interpreted it. The whole society, right from the beginning or its functioning. Now, these three thinkers laid the ground for this subject, and their ideas. Now, students, their ideas, insights have remained relevant even the contemporary period. Okay, now why these are the remembered even today? Now their ideas is still now mixed and gives. They were the pioneers, thinkers of the pioneer of the social thinking, and their thoughts now keep the new torch. Understand, and then pave the way for the social thinkers. Understand, that is why their ideas is even relevant and the concrete relevance and true even in the contemporary world. That could be and under that frame we study the sociological changes and the sociological advancement. Now, students, here and remain the relevant even in period. Of course, these ideas have been subjected to the criticisms and have undergone the major modification, and their ideas had been the subject of the criticisms, and and they have gone many of the modification criticisms, and as well as many new modifications have been made in there. And but since ideas about the societies are themselves influenced by the social conditions, understand, or students begin with a few words about the context the sociology emerged. So we shall here uh, study further now the context of the sociology. Here, the context in which the sociology emerged. In what context, in under what background, understand? Sociology now emerged as a subject. Students, the first is the modern era, where the era and conditions, the modernity we take the granted today and brought about the three major processes. In the modernism, we draw and start our processes of the modern era. Now the modernity, understand, reflects, understand, or reveals the three processes provides by which the modernity now came about and the modernity now appeared. And these processes went, these were the enlightenment or the dawning of the age of reason. Enlightenment, understand, or the dawning of the age of dawn of the age of the enlightenment, age of the reason, age of the argument, age of the observation, age of the experiment, age of the conclusions on a scientific methods, on a scientific experiment, or the age of critical eyes, age of analysis, age of a understand reason. These were the main features and the prime features of the modernity. Understand? And the modernity age of reason, quest for political, and the second, the quest for the political sovereignty, whether the political sovereignty should the second, we are talking about the French Revolution. This was why whether the sovereignty should be inherent in the own hands or in absolute monarchs, and whether it should be come in the hands of the masses, or the state will govern. Understand? The people will be the governed by the people or by the whether by the kings. Understand? The here now a question of sovereignty which brought about, understand, brought about the changes and the sovereignty embodied in the French Revolution. This was the embodied, the question of sovereignty, whether who will be the sovereign, the king, and whether the peoples of the France. Understand that this was embodied or inherited in the French Revolution. The third one was that here the revolution, the system of the mass manufacturing inaugurated by the industrial, the system of the huge manufacturing. A great deal of the manufacturing was here inaugurated in the industrial revolution, not the small scales industries, outdated tools, outdated use of the outdated tools, understand, or the old mode of the production system gone and replaced it, or it was the inaugurations of the mass production, the hues and heaps of the production. Understand that this was the now reflects in the industrial revolution which occurred, we know very well, in the England. Understand, the students now we have to, since this have been discussed at the length in the first of all we have certain very few points we have already discussed in the first chapters of that. The first students we shall now focus on enlightenment and the age of reason, enlightenment, or we can understand in the form of the Renaissance, revival of the new thinking, where that you will study in the history. I will teach you later. Understand? So now here we are going to see the age of enlightenment. The age of enlightenment. The age of enlightenment which emerged, there is no certain day or the certain decades or the century. The European historians now they differ. The beginning of the Renaissance. It means it was the marked by the breakdown of the feudal system. It was the marked by the fall of the Constantinople in 1453, when the Turks, now in the Eastern Byzantine Empire, understand, when the Turks attack upon Constantinople and captured the now the large scale, the huge number of number of thinkers, intellectuals. Now they migrated from the Constantinople, and then they came to the Italy, in the Rome, and the rest of the parts of the rest went in the different parts of the Europe. Understand? And now these thinkers, understand, they now gave torch and became the pioneer for the new thinking. What? New thinking? The old things, the Greek art, the Roman culture, Greek art, begin to be the rediscovered or or they started with the new angles and the new eyes of the reason, with the eyes of the argument. Understand? They began. So as this what a scientific temper, I have to say that a scientific temper, understand, or a argumentative way of the thinking or analytical or critical thinkings now began in the Europe, and that was the at a great mark for the beginning of the modern world. Understand, students? So now let's see the here. During 17th and the 18th century, Western Europe saw, understand, the emergence of the radically new ways of the thinking. A new ways of the thinking, I am talking about that. In this, they left the orthodox thinking, they left reckless thinking, understand, or the blind thinking, and all things were not, and things began to be the grasped or admitted the which were the well argued and the well evaluated, and the which were the now on the basis of the facts. Understand? Not on the fiction, basis of fiction, not on the basis of the divine word. Now the humanism, world of humanism began. The people now left believing in the potentiality of the God. They believed in the potentiality and the human capacity. Understand? Human capacity. And this capacity now has transformed the world. Not the God has not created this world. This world is the result. This world is the consequences. Understand? The fruits of the hard work of the human being, not created by the God overnights. Understand? So now, students, let's see here. He first referred to as the Enlightenment. This new philosophy is established. Enlightenment established the human being as a center of universe. What the? At the center of universe, no God. The human being is the center of this universe. Now, entire world development and growth, understand, is revolving around the human being, or he is bringing or she is bringing about the changes in the world. Understand? Or human being, the center of the study, the ability of the thinking universe, rational thought as a central features of the human being. Rational thought, not the blindly whatever this was said and accepted. No at all. Understand? The argument or the tested, well tested and argued things were began to be the accepted. otherwise rejected. Understand? And filtered. Everything came in the minds and inculcated the filtered things. Okay? So we see that here a new philosophy is established. Human beings as the center of universe. Rational thoughts as a central features of the human being. Ability to think rationally or the critically. Now ability of the human being thinking or anything rationally or as well as the critically individual human being into the both the producer and the user of the knowledge. Or it was believed that the human being is the producer of the knowledge and the user of the knowledge. Understand? Or he is the thinker. He thinks the critically, finds and creates the new theories critically or the scientifically. And now, the knowing the subject, he is on the other hand only person who could think and reason could be the considered as a fully human. In the Renaissance, whatever happened in the Europe, the who was the full human being? Those who can think and who can think and the reason could be the considered as and think not blindly, reasonably, understand, or argumentatively, or the critically. They were accepted and they were termed as the full human being. Full human, or otherwise the human is the half human. If they are not rational and can't think rationally or critically, so this was the and those who could not remain deficient as human being. Now efficiency of the human being was appreciated, not the deficiency. Efficiency and moreover we are considered as not fully evolved human. If someone expresses the deficiency, the now supposed and understood as the not full-fledged human being, if fully evolved. And as in the case of the natives and the primitive society of the savage society, primitive and society of the savages, now the Europeans now went and they began to establish their own colonies and where they term the primitive people as not a full-fledged grown human beings. No, they now term them as the savage, as the uncivilized, and not rational in their thinkings. Such kind of the words began to be used by these imperialists or by Europeans. Those who now first got realized about and regarding the science or regarding the argument, they emphasize on the arguments on understand and on that basis their civilization developed and they were now advancing. That is why they term the Asians as uncivilized. Okay, so these were the reasons that the Europeans were making their advancements. Being the handiwork of a human being, society was amenable to the rational analysis. Society could be the analyzed and could be the study on the basis of the analysis or the rational analysis, thus comprehensible to the other humans. Understand? And moreover, for reasons to become the defining feature of the human world. Now, the regions became the defining features of the human. It was necessary to displace the nature. It was necessary for the new world and the new thinking to displace the nature, religion, and the divine act of the gods. So they had to be the displaced for the new world, for the new thoughts. They have to be the displaced to the nature, displace the nature, religion, and the divine acts of the gods. Not believe in divine acts of the God. Understand? from the central position they had in the earlier age of understanding of the world. They were now in the earlier age, people were understanding at the center of the God. Okay, inverse, not scientifically, inverse, or the all the changes happens and the movement according to the gods, according to the Christians' thought, which was completely dogmatic, understand, or irrational, irrational, and or based on the religious fictions. Okay, from the central position they had earlier understanding. This means that enlightenment was made possible by, that is why the enlightenment was made possible, in turn help the develop attitudes of the mind. This enlightenment help the develop attitudes of the mind, attitudes of the mind that we refer today as a, and that attitudes of the mind, develop attitudes of the mind, which refers today what about the secular thinking, not thinking of blind beliefs on the divine thoughts, on the gods, whatever the in the Christianity the fictitious things were now described before the Renaissance, before the scientific age. Understand? Not to the believe in that. And moreover, secular thinkings, scientific thinking, or humanistic, the three factors is the main outcomes of the modernity. What are the three factors? The 3 points: the secular, scientific, and humanist. Three things, around the three things, your wheels of the modernity is now moving and advancing ahead. And this is the as a uh, pillars of the modernity and the modern thoughts. And the whole world is now advancing, or the uh, advancing or accelerating to achieve these three, understand, three outcomes of the modernity. And now these are the just as the mirror of the modernity, you can say. Okay, students, here we have to study here. Now the next revolutions we are going to study here. The next, the French Revolution. Some of the questions I will now ask from you. The first, understand, first was that first question, who used to say, name the Louis, who used to say that I am the state. Understand? Okay, I am the state. Who said? First. Second questions, understand? First of all, what the three principles sprang from the French Revolution? From you I am asking. And why did the revolution occur within the France, not in other countries of the Europe? Although the conditions of the other countries of the Europe rather worse than the France, rather worse than the France. Even then, this revolution, why occurred, understand, within the France? You have to be the reply. Can you reply this? Okay. Anybody from you who are the sitting in the stream of the sociology? I don't know how many students you are studying in the sociology, but some are there, I suppose. Can you just reply this? Okay. Next day, students, French Revolution, when this occurred, 1789, and the month and date. How this revolution broke out, from where? From where? What the date was? What the month was? What the date was? And where? On which fort? The Parisians now stormed and demolished, and now brought the rubbles and chunks with them as a souvenir. Understand? Where? Okay, this is the just you will think. Now the next topic we shall study the French Revolution. Understand, students? So today uh, I am going to wind up our teachings today. The next day we shall meet with the French Revolution and the further advancement.